The discipline and the absolute mastery of the martial arts, it's like watching, as you know, a beautiful ballet or a dance sometime. It's wild, it's fun, it's physical.
Chuck Norris could block out any one of the scenes he did, action scenes, because he has done them over and over again.
And then Chuck organically created the fight to fit that real environment, and then you would capture that on film. And I think that's what made those fights very unique and also real. So you as a viewer, when you're watching it, you say, oh my God, if I'm in that situation, this is what's gonna really happen.
If he says, don't cross that line because he's got, a fist or his foot coming into frame, then just don't cross that line. Stay way back, farther back of your mark, because he's so precise.
Chuck Norris in Walker, Texas Ranger is a hero because he's fighting the bad guys, which is obvious, but he has compassion and a sense of humanity.
Much like his character who helps and protects those in need, Chuck Norris dedicates a lot of his time to charitable efforts.
He cares about children, he does a lot of charitable work. Really, that's what makes a hero. Giving of your time and of yourself to help for the good of others. Nothing beats that.
When I did Walker, we probably had 500 Make-A-Wish children come on the set during that 8 years.
He's been granting wishes for almost more than 20 years, and does an exceptional job. He's gracious, he's warm, he's welcoming. The kids love him and respond to him.
To see their eyes, they had the most positive attitudes, and we can all learn a lot from these young people. I've become very close to many of them.
I will honor this all my life. It will be a special part of me all my life.
He's a proud American. He wants to kick drugs out of America. He goes into inner city schools and he teaches karate to put kids in a program so they're not, joining gangs, that they belong to a family.
Kickstart's a program. Being a martial art teacher for many years, I worked with thousands of young people, and I was able to help them in many areas of their lives, whether it's psychologically or mentally or physically. So I saw just how important the martial arts, what it did for me. It turned my whole life around. It raised my self-esteem and instilled the discipline and respect that I really needed in my life. And so I knew that the martial arts worked, the philosophy of it. When I got into the acting field, in the back of my mind, I said, I would like to help kids whose parents don't have the money to pay to go to a commercialized school. And so finally, I was having lunch with former President Bush at the White House when he was president in 1989.
Chuck Norris is a good friend, a man I have great respect for.
He just kind of out of the blue asked me, do I have any future goals outside the entertainment field? And I said, so I started telling him what I would like to try to teach the martial arts in the inner city schools.
Well, I just remember his telling me about the concept and asking what I thought, and because of his reputation and my respect for him, it sounded like it made a lot of sense.
I could reach a lot of these at-risk kids at that stage and teach the martial arts in the school as part of the program, as part of the PE program. I said, I think we could help literally millions of kids and direct them in a positive way of life rather than a negative way of life.
I'm very, very proud of each and every one of you. And some of you have been going to high school. We hope that you will stay connected with the Kickstart program. We hope that you will still train after school and be a part of our Kickstart program.
3, 4, When we first envisioned this program, when he first did, I wasn't sure how widespread it would be and how successful it would be. But it has exceeded what I thought was possible, and it's going strong.
37 schools, middle schools in our program, 5,000 kids. in the program. We've graduated over 35,000 over the last 12 years, and many of these kids going on to college and becoming successful in their own right. In fact, 6 of them have graduated from college and come back and now are teaching in our program. So it's been really incredibly successful.
With visions of youth karate programs in schools across the United States, Chuck is putting together a professional kickboxing league with the intent of using the profits to fund the Kickstart Foundation.
Well, I've formed a World Combat League, which is a kickboxing league. And it's going to be pretty exciting because they're not going to be fighting rounds. They have to go in there and fight for 1 3-minute round. So they've got to go full throttle and make a statement in that 3 minutes. I think it's going to be an exciting league, and my foundation, Kickstart, will be the official charity of this league. Right now, I want to saturate Texas with this program in every middle school in Texas, and then expand it out to all the states throughout the country.
I saw firsthand how committed he is to young people living good, clean lives. And I think it's because of what people see as his commitment to young people and his leadership.
In the 1980s, Chuck Norris and his wife Diana divorced. They'd been married for 30 years, since he was 18 years old, and had 3 grown-up children. His 2 sons, Eric and Mike, had also joined the Walker family, directing many episodes of the series. Despite the success he had found, having no one to share it with left him empty.
My best friend just realized I had a hole in my heart. I really did. I was living a very fast-paced life and not really a constructive life. I mean, even though I was successful in the film world and financially successful and all this stuff here, he still saw an emptiness in my heart. And he said, you know, that emptiness is because you don't have a soulmate to share it with. And I kind of hem on, I don't need that, He said, well, there's a girl I know, a woman I know, that I'd love for you to meet her. I said, okay, kind of throwing it away. But anyway, one night I'm at a sushi restaurant with a lot of my friends and some of my family, and this woman walks in.
I was really nervous when I came in that night, and I didn't really know what to expect. But I thought, who is that over there? Who is this guy at the end of the table with the baseball cap? He's pretty cute.
I look up at her, and it was like an angel standing there. I said, holy mackerel, And I just kind of staring at her for a moment, and I said, oh, it's nice to meet you, Gina.
You know what? Oddly enough, I'm from a little town in the High Sierras of 2,000 people. I worked in law enforcement, raising kids, working all the time, so I didn't really watch a lot of TV. But I think really not knowing was an advantage for the 2 of us. I know it seems kind of hard to believe, but I got to see him as a person, a guy that just gets up and goes to work every day like every other man. And so I didn't have all that celebrity stigma or whatever attached to him. I got to see him for who he was.
A couple days later, she's doing a modeling assignment, which is she was modeling wedding dresses. So I go to watch her model these wedding dresses here in Dallas.
It was a good time in his life to find a soulmate and settle down. It took a long time to find a person that he can be that madly in love with.
So I told my mom about her, about Gina. I called my mom and told her about this gal that really, says she's a really beautiful person, not only physically but in her heart too. So I told her about the wedding dresses. Is that bringing up any ideas? I said, no, Mom, no ideas. Famous last words. Because, truthfully, I was not looking to get married. Because I dated a lot of girls, and all of them I dated, I had no aspirations of getting married at all. When Gina came into my life as a beautiful young lady, it'd be a nice relationship, but I didn't foresee it as a marriage type of relationship.
Really? Now let's talk about that.
Well, I didn't until I found the interview. When I found the interview, then that made it a little more important to me. I was doing Walker and working 16 hours a day. I said, the only break I have on Walker is Thanksgiving. I have 4 days off at Thanksgiving, and that's 6 weeks from now. And I said, that's the only time I have, for us to get married. And I said,
Yeah. You're like, can you do it?
And I says, can you do it in 6 weeks? She says, well, I haven't said yes yet. I said, oh. I said, I said, honey, would you marry me?
Yeah, I said yes. And
she
then
said yes. I said, well, okay, you got 6 weeks.
Oh, no pressure. And we did. It was a beautiful wedding.
But I tell you, she did an incredible job. In 6 weeks, she put this whole thing together. We had over 500 guests.
Make some noise for Mr. and Mrs. Carlos and Jeannie Norris!
Although both Chuck and Gina had grown-up children from their previous marriages, they began talking about starting a new family together.
We decided to start a second family, and when Gina got pregnant, we go for the first sonogram, and the doctor goes, oh yeah, there's that little tyke. And she goes, uh-oh, looks like there's another one here. And I go, wow, twins, really? You know, and she says, yep. And then she goes, oh, to the left, she says, uh-oh, looks like there's a third one. Now I have to sit down. I says, 3, really?
It's like it's all him. You know? Like he's the one carrying him, like he's all lightheaded and has to sit down.
I says, is it really 3? She says, well, we don't know. Well, we'll know for a week. So for a week, I'm trying to think, okay, now 3. Now how do you hold 3 in your arms, you know? And but of course, it wound up being twins.
I said, wow, you know, I'm almost done with mine. Mine are getting ready to move out. It's got more energy than I got.
Well, we're going to take the kids to see the rodeo.
Oh, it's the first time ever.
Here we go. Get your hat? Okay, I'll get your hat. There's your hat. You put it on.
And Mom.
That's going to be exciting.
Chuck, did you see that picture of the president back here when I had him out here before he was president? Looked like he was choking that horse. He was Here
we go. Here we go.
Well, these are my people here, you know, the Texans and, the Southwest. These are the people I identify with.
One day back, I ain't never forgot it. How you been?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Just moved back to Dallas a couple months ago, so we've settled in. We're back here to stay now. We will.
He's earned the respect of these people because of his own life and overcoming adversity, and also because of his excellence in his field.
He is a very famous personality around the world, and Chuck Norris is no fluke. He's for real.
Thank you.
I've never had any hostile type fan reaction, and it's great when they come up and see how much they appreciate you and how much they love you, and it's a great feeling.
It's not like he's just an actor or movie star. He's an international icon, and he's a hero to so many people.
Hi there, how are you?
It separates him. It gives him just a different quality because he's the real deal, and he's our hero at home as well.
Homegrown heroes tomorrow night. An evening of Prince's Charming gets underway with Williams Women at 7. Paying our respects to the Commonwealth tonight, though, as our Australia Day party gets started with Naomi Watts next.